I have a very serious question to ask you guys. Will you smell decants with me? G'day, y'all. You may or may not know that I am in a constant state of behindness. And because of that, I have some decants I have not smelled, and I swear, like, over 2 months. Since before we even moved into this house, which has been over, like 3 months, some of them. I want to knock some out, get them out of the way, let's smell them together. I'm gonna spray it, we're gonna talk about it. These are all first impressions. I've not smelled any of these. Okay, so the first one I want to smell is Amouage's Memoir Woman. So in this fragrance, you got a lot of warm, spicy notes. So we've got cardamom, wormwood, pink pepper in the top. We've got incense, clove. We've got a little bit of white floral and rose in the heart. And in the dry down, we've got leather, labdanum, styrax, oak moss, so some balsamic notes, some animalic notes in the base. All right, let's smell this one. Admittedly, for some reason, Amouage has been a brand that I haven't really touched on much or bought a lot of decants of, also because they're kind of expensive, even for decants over here. It's like $15 to $20 for 2 mils, which is crazy. Yep, okay. Immediate, smoky, balsamic clove. Smoky, woody, rich balsamic clove. That wormwood is also very prominent at the top. It gives like a really bitter greenness. Really, this is spicy. This is more of your classic Chypre fragrance. You don't really have any sweetness in here. This is very hot, spicy, incense, balsamic. There's a little bit of a dirtiness in there from the animalic notes. There's a little bit of a leathery facet as well. Incredibly strong, incredibly prominent. This is not soft. This is very spicy and hot. I keep describing it as hot, but I don't know how else to describe it. It's so like, it almost is like singeing my nose hairs, if I'm being completely honest. If you love classic, like those classic Chypre type of scent stories that are really spicy, not a lot of heavy floral. This is very smoky, no sweetness, then I think you would like this. I've actually gone back to my themed video lists, so I'm currently working on a few of those, and I know exactly where I'm going to place this one. Holy moly, this has got to be crazy good performer. I mean, this decant also has been sitting for months. Strong, holy strong, smoky and dirty. Kind of gives me like hippie vibes almost. So the next one that I have is Splendida Tubereuse Mystique by Bvlgari. Oh my god, I'm totally butchering that. I'm so sorry. So this one, I'm not gonna lie, even though I buy decants, I can't help but be influenced by how the bottle looks. I see a bottle like this, it's very dark. It is very like dark and mysterious, and it looks very luxurious. It's got a prominent tuberose note, hence the name. So this one's got black currant and divana in the top. It's got tuberose in the heart, and the dry down, it's vanilla absolute and myrrh. I definitely think I was searching for a certain scent for a particular theme when I was ordering these decants. It's kind of coming back to me now. With the divana and the myrrh, I don't know, maybe you guys can guess, but if you can't guess, it's probably a good thing. Okay, this is actually quite a thick tuberose, but you've got a heavy sweetness in the top. It's not like that super bubblegummy tuberose I feel like a lot of modern tuberose has. It's still very sweet, but not quite in that way. It's a very sweet greenness. So you've got that divana in there, which is adding like a bitter greenness. And normally I dislike divana, especially a prominent divana note. I suppose it's not too prominent. There's a lot of sweetness. The tuberose is the very first thing that I smell. A very warm, vanilla-y, sweet tuberose. So the divana and the myrrh, I don't really smell them too strongly, at least not on the initial spray. Definitely not for everyone if you don't love your heavy tuberose. I think I need to test this one further because I'm really curious how this one will dry down, especially with that divana note. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people where if I smell divana as a prominent note in a fragrance, a lot of times it comes across as very ammonia-esque and almost reminiscent of like urine, like cat urine specifically. That's just a very unfortunate way that my nose interprets a lot of divana notes, and it's not doing that in here. This is very enjoyable. I really like it. I also really love tuberose. So this is definitely a scent for me. I don't know if I would say this is a safe blind buy. I don't know if this is mass appealing. It is quite a creamy, sweet tuberose, but I don't know. It's got like that slight bitter greenness from the Divana. So for that reason, I would say not a safe blind buy, but there's almost something like slightly vintage about it. It might actually be the myrrh. Like now that it's drying down more, I'm smelling the myrrh come out and it kind of gives me a more vintage feel. So I think the way that this would dry down would be very different to what I'm smelling now. Very, very different. But okay. Not too bad. I don't love it, okay? I think I would need to test further to give you my full thoughts, I suppose. But not bad. I don't mind it. Okay, the next scent that I have is Bleue Eau de Parfum by Guerlain. I think I had picked this one because the iris note is meant to be more prominent in this one. I think I was on a hunt for maybe some older iris heavy scents. This is a very vintage scent. This is actually from 1912. I'm sure it's been reformulated many times, so I highly doubt that I'm getting the original experience. This one's got a laundry list of notes. You've got some purple florals in there. Of course, you've got iris, you've got tonka bean, benzoin, vanilla in the base, a heap of florals in there. You've got clove as well. This is definitely more reminiscent of an older scent, this kind of note profile. This is truly, guys, this smells like it's from 1912, okay? Let's just say that. But I think, unfortunately, the such a strong anise note, the super powdery florals, and it's not that kind of like juicy iris and juicy purple floral. It just is incredibly powdery. It's got a little bit of a spiciness. You've got clove, you've got anise, you've got coriander as well. And while I do smell the iris in a very powdery way, it is not the kind of iris that I love. I think this one's a bit too vintage for me, okay? Very much that like vintage, like spicy, powdery, a little bit dirty, incredibly powdery. Like this is powder times a million. I don't know. I don't think this one is for me, unfortunately, but I'm glad I could try it. Also, again, on the skin, this could be completely different. I mean, it could be very different. Yeah, not one for me. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Let's smell a couple of new scents. I finally want to get these Who is Elijah scents out of the way. Now, they came out with a scent Ocean Eyes. They came out with this in like December or January. Of course, for us in Australia, that is like peak summer. And then a couple of months ago, they released Desert Nights. For Ocean Eyes, it's perfect timing for you. I don't know if this is available in the rest of the world yet, but this is what Ocean Eyes look like. Ooh, I love that blue juice. So fun. Got sea salt, juniper, grapefruit, amberwood, mandarin orange, and musk. So really not any sweetness in here. Okay. This is very masculine to me. Super heavy grapefruit, sea salt, and juniper. It does have like a tiny little bit of sweetness, but it kind of reminds me of just like a cheap aftershave. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. I don't know. It kind of smells cheap to me. Like, I think Mr. Zuri would love this one, but even on him, I don't know. I don't know if I like it, you guys. It is very, very strong citrus, okay? And I feel like that's what makes it smell like it's meant to be like a deodorant or something to cover up BO. Oh, I don't know, girl. I think it's so hard to do notes like this and not have it smell like aftershave. I feel like you could so easily go in that aftershave realm, and then that association just makes it smell cheap, at least to me. It's too heavy on the citrus. It's just way too much for me personally. If you like a really heavy, salty citrus, juniper, like really salty green citrus, and it's still incredibly woody. I think she was not meant to do a heavy wood with this one, but it is very woody. Listen, great for those who like traditionally masculine scents, I think. Not for me, but I'm glad I got to smell it at least and let you guys know. And then the other one of hers I want to smell is Desert Nights. So for Desert Nights, you've got white rose, saffron, cypriol, Moroccan rose, jasmine. You've got oud, amber, wood, musk. Okay, so saffron, amber, musk, jasmine. Okay. So here's what the juice looks like. Very clear. Oh, it's a roller ball. Okay. So this one's actually a roller ball. So I'm just going to roll this. Okay. It's actually quite aromatic. I get a very faint dusty rose, heavy saffron. It's a little bit balsamic, but it's cooling. It's not like a super warm scent. The oud is heavier than I was expecting. I would not expect her to go with such a heavy oud. I'm not sure what I was I think I was expecting something a bit warmer. I don't know. I think I hear desert nights, and for some reason I think something warm, even though at night in the desert it would probably be quite cold. So maybe this makes perfect sense. This is very saffron heavy. This is very saffron and oud heavy. It's not a very lush fragrance. It's actually pretty bitter. And the white, I'm not loving the wood in this one. And I usually really love white woods. I'm not loving this one, you guys. I don't know. It's very dry. It just feels very like just dry and bitter. There's nothing really counteracting that. It just goes really straight to the musk, which I'm not loving the musk either in this one. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I'm so sad. I didn't like either of these. I didn't like Desert Nights or Ocean Eyes. I don't know. Not for me. I guess they're just not for me, and that's totally fine. Okay, I actually want to smell some that you guys recommended to me. So I've got Celeste by Giardini di Toscana. In Celeste, in the top, you've got seawater and lime. In the heart, you've got violet, raspberry, and exotic floral notes. Okay, I'm reading this from Fragrantica, so the notes might not be 100% correct. Base notes, vanilla sugar, and ambroxan. Okay, interesting. We've got raspberry in the heart, seawater and lime. Okay, I'm very interested in this one. Whoa, wait, it's actually like candy-like. You know what it smells like? It almost smells like a really fruity saltwater taffy. It's like tingly on my nose. It's like so light and airy. Like the sweetness is so delicate and the salt is perfect. Like the seawater note in here, it's not like a super heavy dense salt that comes across sharp. It's very light and airy. The violet in here, beautiful. Perfect amount of powderiness. The raspberry in the heart, it's not too heavy. It's not giving like laundry detergent, which a lot of times raspberry and fragrance can come across to me as like very synthetic. This is not that. I'm very curious what that vanilla sugar is though, because it is very sugary. It's very sugary, but it's a very like light and bright and delicate sweetness. And the lime is not overpowering. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. I love this. I love this. I now want a bottle of this. This is not what I expected to smell after seeing these notes in here, especially that seawater note. It's not really coming across like marine-like. It's just sparkling. Is sparkling the right word? It's like a very sparkling, delicate, bright, light candy, but it's like a little bit powdery. I'm blown away at this one. Are my tits blown? I think my tits might be blown by this one. I love this. With the heavy violet, if you don't love violet, maybe this one is not a safe blind buy. I don't know. But to me, it's not. I feel like I just get a really strong candy-like sweetness. Oh my god, it's so good. This is so good. This is amazing. Hot take alert, I think this is better than Bianco Latte. They're not in the same category as far as the scent profile. This one's very light and delicate, airy sweetness. Bianco Latte is very creamy and warm and dense, gourmand. This is not that. This is very different, but I think I like this more. I'm almost positive I like this way more than Bianco Latte. Thank you for suggesting this. This one's amazing. I love it. And this is, if you love violet, if you love very delicate sweetness with your violet, this is one that you might want to try, you guys. So the next scent I have that you guys also suggested to me is the Ghost in the Shell. How can I say this in the least French way possible? Etat Libre d'Orange. This one, we're going like the other way with this. I don't want to get this wrong. I'm reading off of their website. There's a lot of freaky synthetic notes in here. It looks like you've got some synthetic watery notes, milk, skin, yuzu. You've got jasmine, you've got orchanox. So we've got vinyl guaiacol. Provides the smell of vanilla cloves accord, sweet balsamic and smoky, spicy, powdery carnation accord. Okay, interesting. So it kind of replicates a carnation slightly. Okay, all I know is that this is weird as hell. These notes are very weird. Also very cool. This seems like a very cool fragrance. Okay. Oh, it's watery yet soapy. It's watery and soapy. I smell the yuzu very strongly. There is like a warmth underneath the wateriness and the soapiness that is weird. You know, like when you smell a Dove soap bar, and it's not necessarily the scent of the Dove, like whatever it's scented with, but it's like that fatty smell in there. Like that, you know what I mean? Like that thick fattiness. That's kind of what I smell in this. It's like a weird, fatty, soapy, watery, and then there you've got like a slight citrus in there. I'm letting it dry down more because I really want to see how the scent evolves. I'm very fascinated by the notes in here. So it's Milky Skin Accord. Yeah, I think the more that I smell it, the more it really settles into that like fatty soap smell. I guess I could maybe consider it milky. It's creamy. It's definitely creamy. But creamy as in like maybe not milky, but just like creamy as in kind of thick, perhaps? Like maybe a soft soapiness, a soft fatty soapiness. Honestly, that's mainly what I smell is Dove. And I don't know, I guess it's not as complex as I was expecting. It's definitely something different, not something you smell all the time. I think this one I'm definitely going to want to test on the skin and give you guys an update just because it's such an interesting scent. And I'm very interested in kind of the notes that they claim to have. I want to see if I can pick up different accords on the dry down. So I'll definitely give you guys an update on this one at the end of the month. The Ghost in the Shell. I'm going to test that one further. There is one more I want to smell. It's actually one that my friend gifted to me. She doesn't wear a lot of fragrance and she gifted to me. This is from Goldfield and Banks. This one is Sunset Hour. So I guess it's not a decant, it's a travel size. So we've got Australian Desert Peach, Italian Mandarin Pear, Raspberry, Jasmine, Ginger, Pink Pepper, Australian Sandalwood, of course, Vanilla, Cashmere Woods, we got Cashmerean, and Benzoin. Let's see why she gifted it to me. Oh, wait. This immediately smells familiar. Off the initial spray, I hate to say this, but it kind of reminds me of an Ariana Grande fragrance. Maybe a little bit less sweet. I think it's the combination of the fruit and the cashmerean. So I think the peach, very prominent peach and raspberry with the cashmerean. It's reminding me of an Ariana Grande fragrance. I think it's that fluffiness that's underneath with that cashmerean. I think that's kind of where I'm getting like a little bit teeny bopper, which is, listen, I love teeny bopper. I'm not against teeny bopper. There's nothing like wrong with it to me. It's a very nice blend of fruit, of peach and raspberry, although there is something that's I'm not loving. Maybe it's the pink pepper. I'm not in love with the pink pepper. It's got a little bit of bite from the ginger. Not as strong as I expected, actually. I like this one. I like the combination of the fruits in here with that very soft base with the cashmerean. It's got sandalwood, which I love sandalwood. You've got a little bit of a white floral. You've got jasmine in there, which I love. It's basically just a very cozy, soft fruit. Those are the most prominent notes to me. It's a very soft fruit, that cashmerean laden fruit. I think this one actually leans a little more traditionally feminine, if I were to say. That very soft, fluffy fruit. And you've got some nice sandalwood in there too, which for me, listen, if you got a nice blend of fruit that's not sharp, not pungent, and you've got a nice strong wood in there, I'm bound to love it. I love my sweet woods. What can I say? I'm predictable in that way, I suppose. Sunset Hour by Goldfield and Banks. Not bad. If you don't love super sweet fragrances though, I don't know. And if you're afraid of it maybe smelling teeny boppery and you don't like that, you've been warned. All right, I think I got a pretty good mishmash of different scents. I'll definitely test as many as I can before the end of the month. Thank you for your suggestions. I love getting your guys' suggestions. Even though it might take me a while to get to them, I do write them all down. Like if you guys leave me a suggestion, I do write them all down. Yes, it might be a massive list, but I will get through it eventually. That is my goal. All right, thank you so much for watching and you'll see me in the next one.